Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unboxing with Paul. Today, I bring you the Galaxy A32 5G, the middle child in Samsung's new budget lineup. Let's take a look at it. Released just 2 weeks ago, this phone seeks to bring 5G to the masses, or at least make it more accessible. You guys already know that I'm a sucker for good packaging. Unfortunately, this is not good packaging. This is still that flimsy, cheap packaging that we're used to getting with the budget Galaxy smartphones. And you only get one shot at a first impression. And this box definitely is not impressing anybody. Okay, put that aside. Again, this cardboard is so thin that you could, I don't even know if you could here. This cardboard is so thin that you could literally mistake it for construction paper. No, I guess the light doesn't really shine through, but I don't know if you can or anything does shine through, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty thin. I was trying to make the light shine through, but that didn't work. Anyway, up here we got, you already know, a reference guide, terms and conditions, and legal and safety, yada yada yada. Basically useless, e-waste, gonna go to the landfill. It's terrible. The phone itself, we're gonna put that aside for right now. We do get a Metro by T-Mobile SIM card, as this is a Metro by T-Mobile phone. And we also got our USB-A to USB-C cord, a very important distinction to make in 2021. In the box, we also get a wall adapter that is rated for 15 watts. Online, I was seeing that this was supposed to be for, no, wait, never mind, that's right. It is supposed to be only for 15 watts. So it's the only one that's accurate, but that's not really impressive, especially in today's day and age where we've seen 40, 50, 60, 70, even 90 watt chargers. That's nothing special. And of course, we also get that cheap twisted wire SIM ejector tool that we get with all Samsung phones, or at least all the ones in this price range that I've been seeing. Let's go ahead and put the contents of our box back together. Let's put that aside for right now. Now, the phone itself, let me just say that all three of these phones in this new lineup, they're all going to be the same size. They're all going to be rocking 6.5-inch displays. The difference between them will be the quality of the display and the pixel count. And I have to say that this looks nice, and I'm a little torn. On the one hand, I kind of like it because this is just a brand new phone. But I don't know. I would have liked for these to be kind of paired in some sort of fashion. Samsung also calls this Awesome Black. You know, I don't know if I'm mistaken this, but again, they call it Awesome Black, even though this is a completely different black than the one on the Galaxy A52. As you guys can see, this is a glossy, almost mirror-like back. Even though it's plastic, it is very glossy, and I can just tell it's gonna get scratched to all hell, and it's gonna take fingerprints like a mother effer. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. I kind of like the way it looks, but I know that functionality-wise, this is going to be garbage. And I'm not a fan of the fact that the camera bumps are raised. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Here, let me stand up. Yeah, can you guys see that? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I have that on the iPhone, but I don't know how I feel about it on the Samsung. Anyway, since we're back here, let's go ahead and take a look at our lenses, which are essentially a nerfed version of what we would get on the Galaxy A52, starting with our main lens, which is a 48 megapixel instead of a 60 something. We have an 8 megapixel ultra wide, also a 5 megapixel macro lens, and finally a 2 megapixel depth lens, followed of course by our LED flash. Now these cameras are going to allow us to shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second and 1080p video at up to 60 frames per second. Although I'm a little bit disappointed that we don't see some sort of slow motion video on this. Let's go ahead and flip it around and take a look at it on the front. And as you can see, our selfie camera comes in at 13 megapixels, and we should only be able to shoot 1080p video at 30 frames per second. So that's a bit of a shame and a bit of a compromise. And again, our screen is the same size as the Galaxy A52's a 6.5 inch. However, this time around, we're getting a 720 by 1600 TFT display, which is definitely a screen downgrade, not only in screen type, but also a resolution downgrade, as the A52 has 1600 by 2400 resolution, which is leaps and bounds better than this. But again, still the same screen size. Now the phone itself feels it feels okay. It feels slightly on the heavy side, but maybe that's just because of how big it is. But I've tested other phones that are also bigger, and they're able to not camouflage, but they're able to hide their weight a little bit well, and a little bit better in the way they handle themselves or in the way that they're shaped. But this one, you know it's heavy, or you definitely feel its weight, and that's partly due to its massive 5,000 milliamp battery, which is a definite step up from, I believe, the 3,500 that we used to have in the A11 and the 4,000 milliamp hour battery that you used to get in the A51. So definite step ups from battery capacity, which should give you a whole 2 days of heavy use, or 1 day of non-stop continued video streaming, like a whole 20 something hours. Because I've seen the power of 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and they tend to last forever. Now let's go ahead and analyze our phone. On the left side of the phone, we have our SIM/SD card tray. At the very top of the phone, we get our pinhole microphone. On the very right side, we get the volume rocker, as well as our power button. Now, you guys normally know that I hate and that it drives me up the wall when manufacturers put the volume rocker and the power button on the same side. However, this time, the power button is very different than the volume button. Can you guys see that on the side? Let me stand up. You see the volume rocker is raised, meanwhile the power button is flat and flush. And the reason for that is that, number one, you're able to differentiate them, which I absolutely love and I'm a huge fan of. So thank you. Somebody finally listened, or somebody finally thought about that. And number two, the reason for that is that this is a fingerprint scanner. That's right. They have now switched the fingerprint scanner to the side of the phone. Now I realize a lot of other phones have had that for a while, but keep in mind this is Samsung's budget line, so it is a huge deal. They are finally bringing it to phones that are going to be available to basically everybody. So you're going to be seeing way more and more people using the fingerprint scanner on this side and being happy about it and basically flexing about it. Let's go ahead and check it out. So the phone itself looks actually nice. Maybe it's just the background they picked, but it's easy on the eyes. It's not bad at all. At the very bottom of the phone, we got a speaker grill. We got USB-C port for charging and data transfer. We got another pinhole microphone, and finally a headphone jack, which is very nice to have for those days where you just feel like plugging your headphones in, or for whenever your Bluetooth headphones die. Like I said, the screen is easy on the eyes, and it could very well be just the background that they picked. I'm not sure if this has the 90 hertz display, 90 hertz refresh rate, but it definitely feels smooth. It could just be the good animations about it. But you already know Samsung has the usual bloatware in there. A whole folder dedicated to Samsung crap, as well as YouTube Music and Spotify. But again, I'm finally glad to see the end of Bixby. Whenever you turn to the left side, you don't get Bixby anymore. You're able to get Google Snapchat or Google Topics, whatever you want, just to be able to stay on top of it. Some actual relevant, useful stuff. And again, that I have to do the test where I'm able to move stuff around, because on some phones, some of the stuff on your screen is fixed, and that is a huge turn off for me when it comes to a phone. Let's go ahead and check out how this phone does on the YouTube. Go ahead and look up let's go ahead and look up our very first video that we did, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube. It should be number 3, fairly easy to find. Okay. This drives me up the wall, okay? Why is there why is there advertisements on my videos if I'm not monetized yet? I know YouTube changed their terms and conditions, but that absolutely drives me up the wall. Not monetized, and I have advertisements on my stuff. Subscribe, help me get monetized. Anyway, let's go ahead. And let's show ourselves some nicer videos, maybe the one with the LG G-Pad. Okay, yada. So this one should allow us to stream at what? So it says it can stream at 2K, but I don't know if it can actually display at 2K. Seeing as how the screen is 720 by 1600. But let's go ahead and turn it up. No. There's no stereo speakers. That flipping blows. I'm disappointed. So the only speaker is down there. That really sucks. But other than that, the screen is crispy. It's not as good as the A32s, obviously. This is no Super AMOLED. This is just, a TFT screen. It's adequate. It's good enough for watching videos. The viewing angles on it are, They're actually pretty bad. It might be just because of all this sliding I have in here, but the viewing angles on are not that great, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm not a huge fan of this one. Not at all. Again, advertisements on my videos.
Have new vehicles this year? Nerdball.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unboxing with Paul. Today, we're unboxing. That's fine. Capture device or a cell phone or anything like that. this, I mean, it's fine. It's not bad, you know, but having just looked at the Galaxy A52, this is definitely a step down, comparing it, but this is fine. It's adequate on its own. It's more than fine. It looks good, actually. It's just me being a spoiled brat, which I apologize for, honestly. The last thing for me to do, there's actually a few things for me to do, but let's go ahead and see how our video camera performs. We're gonna put it in Ultra HD. We're gonna flip it sideways. This is what video looks and sounds like on the main camera of the Galaxy A32. We can definitely see a dip in quality from the Galaxy A52, but this is perfectly fine on its own. Then this is what the selfie camera looks and sounds like on the Galaxy A32. Definitely nowhere near as crisp or as good as the Galaxy A52. It's definitely a huge step down in quality. Not a huge fan of this one. But does it have portrait mode though? It does. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, it does have portrait mode. Okay, let's go see if it has some other. Okay, I know the fun effect is supposed to be Snapchat filters on your phone, which, I mean, you might as well just go to Snapchat at this point, you know? Yep, I've always wanted to see what I look like as a bunny in drag. Thanks, Snapchat. But again, portrait, could we fix our... Yes, we can do it. We can change our background effect. Yes, we can do the zoom. Yes, we can do the zoom. Let's do the color point this time. Can we do more than one spin? Can we do zoom and colors? No, we can't. But that looks great. I'm a fan of that. I mean, it's not super crisp, but good enough. I'm a fan of this. This works. This definitely works. This definitely works. And more than anything, keep in mind the main thing about this phone is that it's also a 5G phone. It's a cheap 5G phone, but doesn't have AMOLED. The cameras are definitely a step down. And we have, I didn't even mention this earlier, we have 64 gigabytes on storage, and we also have 4 gigabytes on the RAM. We also have an octa-core processor with the usual 6x2 configuration, but it's a little bit weird as the 6 efficiency cores are clocked in at 2 gigahertz, and then the 2 power cores are also clocked in at 2 gigahertz. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work unless I saw some misinformation online, and in which case I'm gonna find out when I run the Geekbench test. Okay, however, on the bright side, we do get Bluetooth 5.0. We do get dual band Wi-Fi AC. And also, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we get NFC for Google Wallet and sharing files quickly. A very, very nice thing to have. Let's go ahead and download Geekbench so that we can see what cores we actually have and verify our information, and also see how good or how poor this phone performs. I'm very, very curious to see that. Okay guys, so I can't leave without running the Geekbench test. So we're gonna see how many cores we have. I thought it would have displayed right away, but it just says that we have an ARM CPU, ARM MT6853V NZ8. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but we're gonna go ahead and let this run, and I will be right back with you guys as soon as this is over. Okay guys, and we are back with our Geekbench score. As you guys can see, we got a 504 for our single core. Again, compared to a Galaxy A21's 182, 183, it's a lot better. And as you can see, for the multi-core, we got a 1667, which is again comparatively nicer. Let's see our processor information. It says again that we have 8 cores at 2 gigahertz, so I guess there's a confusion because again, I wasn't able to tell why we had that weird configuration if they're all clocked in at 2 gigahertz, and what's the point of having 2 efficiency and 2 2 power and 6 efficiency if they were all clocked in at the same speed, right? And of course, you guys can see that we're running 4 gigabytes on the RAM. Well, it says 3.5 here, but I don't know, that's a little dubious if you ask me. But let's go ahead and see how we stack up against the competition. Again, a 504 for us versus the 897 for our OnePlus. We are looking more like a Samsung Galaxy A71 because we're quite short of a Xiaomi Redmi K20 Pro, and we're still quite ahead of a Xiaomi Pocophone F1. Let's go ahead, and still way ahead of a Galaxy S8, as that one was at 356, and we came in at a 504, so definitely way better. And as far as the multi-core processing goes, we ran at 1667 for the multi-core for us. And it looks like we're right up with the Xiaomi Poco F1 and the Galaxy A71. Still way better than the Galaxy S8, but again, that is a 3-4-year-old phone at this point, so we should be doing much better than that. Now let's go ahead and see what all the buzz is about regarding that fingerprint scanner on the side of the phone. We'll see how well it runs, we'll see how bad or how good it is. Let's go ahead and add a fingerprint, continue. Let's go ahead and add a highly secure PIN that you guys know we use for all of our devices. Okay. Scan the fingerprint. So, okay, yep. And I'm fairly familiar with these. So you just lift and tap and you coin your fingerprint with it. So I guess we're done. Okay, we agree, we're done. Let's go ahead and get out of this. Gonna lock the phone. So I guess we just touch it. Okay, that was pretty quick. One more time. That's pretty quick. That's pretty good. Yep. Might I say almost better than the Galaxy A52s, as that one had an under the screen fingerprint sensor, and this just works and it's fast. Yeah, that works. That gets my seal of approval. If there are other items you'd like for me to talk about, or other topics you'd like for me to cover, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Topics or other items you'd like for me to talk. If there are items you'd like for me to talk about, other Too much.